I won't. We're here in Branson and we're trying to figure out which attractions are actually worth the money. And we're gonna try to tour as many as we can. And right now, we're at the National Toy Museum. It's also a BB gun museum. If you like toys like me, then you're gonna have a lot of fun.
I got a pinball.
Look at this. There's a lot of detail work that went into making all those carnival booths. Supposedly some guy from Springfield made these by hand. Who doesn't love training? I certainly do. Look at that. Look at the big top. The circus is in town. Now look at this. This is really good detail right here. They opened up the circus tent to show you the circus happening. Look at it. That's pretty cool. And you can walk all the way around it. And I'll tell you, if you're a real lover of creating attractions and amusement attractions, you've always wanted to make your own train station, like your own city. There's nothing more creative than that. You have to have a lot of space. So when I look for my new house, I'm looking for a space for a train slash slot car. It'll be my new hobby. I'll put all my money into making my own city, and I'll have slot cars where you can race them. But yeah, I'm very fascinated by that. And you'll notice too that they tried to like theme by creating like a landscape mural in the background. Look at all that detail. Oh, look at that, that's a John Deere train. Man, you have to ask yourself, like, how long does it take to make something like this?
They have a sign over there that says if you want to volunteer helping build these, they're looking for volunteers.
So how long did it take to make this one? 8 years. How much do you think it costs to do it? Because I've seen some of those train buildings and stuff, and they can cost like, you know, a couple $100 a piece.
Well, my layout I got at home is an old scale, and my buildings I average probably $100 a piece.
Yeah. How much do you think you have in something like that?
20,000.
20,000. Do you run your trains at home?
Yeah.
It's just, what is it, relaxing? Just to watch them run around the track?
Well, you get retired, you get bored, you need something to do. Yeah.
Hey, thanks a lot.
You bet.
When I retire, I'm going to be bored, and I'm going to need something to do. So you guys know what I'll be doing. I'll be making a train. All right, guys, look at this. This is like the haunted house mecca here. You got the Monsters coloring book. You've got all the Universal Studios monsters. These are some really old model toys, and you got a vampire coffin. Look at the Monsters lunchbox right there. My God, I would love to have that.
Pez dispensers.
There is a lot of toys in here. Who didn't have Pez's? Look at all those sewing kits. The lady upstairs said that these were toys to try to teach little girls how to sew. Because back in the old days, right, people would make their own quilts and blankets and clothes. Now we're in the teddy bear section, and it's like everything teddy bear. A specific brand too. It's called the Branson Bear. And I'm not gonna lie, there's a kind of a spooky clown. But look at all these toys. All these toys would be back from the 60s and 70s, I would imagine. All of these toys in here from the 60s and 70s. I mean, I even had this toy right here. Who didn't have that when they were a kid? Depending on how old you are.
Famously shown in Toy Story 3.
Yeah, that's correct. Look at all the Wizard of Oz dolls. Those are really cool. So when you come in this section, you're going back to the 50s, the 60s, maybe even the 40s. And look in here, they've done a great job of theming, if you ask me. You got a schoolboy, a teacher, or maybe even his mother, because a lot of people were taught at home. Look at this sign. This is growing up in America in the 1950s. You got these beautiful little murals on the wall, photos. And here's the things that were popular. Metal
Lunchbox.
Lunch boxes. Those were popular when I was a kid in the 70s. But look at that, it's Howdy Doody.
Look at that doll.
The 45s. And I remember these, River. You see those records? They're not actually printed. They're printed on paper, and they would play like a song, right? And look at that, Howdy Doody. Look at those. I mean, it's insane. Look at the baseball glove. And look how good of a job they've done theming. Like you have like a lot of kids would have played with their train sets.
Oh yeah, it's like
not so much today.
It's like underneath the staircase.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Look over here. They've done a beautiful job theming. They've got like an old dresser in there. And these would have been the toys and the things that kids would play with back in the 1950s. I mean, this is very well done, if you ask me. And look at this. Unlike the Butterfly Museum, they've got beautiful signs that they had made. Look at the... I mean, obviously the Boy Scouts were a big thing.
Look at this, like cardboard duct tape.
Yeah, that would have been like something people would make because back then, you know, you had to have things occupy your time. You didn't have Xbox and PlayStation. There's an old 8mm projector. Wow.
Here's another scene.
Raggedy Ann and Andy. Tin toys.
It does look really fantastic.
You have a little refrigerator for people who play house. Look at the old sled in the corner there, the old dolls. River, this is the exact same bed we just put in the Darkness Haunted House. I had just bought one of those. It has little balls. I mean, like, this is amazing. They've done just simply an amazing job. And it really does make you travel back in time.
Look at the detail of the tree behind the window.
Yeah.
Very neat. Very cool.
Four under par. His competitor, the cart man, shoe shine man, clubhouse man. Or golf tour. By a comfortable two-stroke.
Well, these dollhouses back in the 50s and 60s, this would be something that people would make themselves. You wouldn't necessarily go to a department store and buy this. You would buy the pieces to make it yourself. When you don't have Xbox and you don't have all those things, this is how people would occupy their time. And look in the top, they put a Mad Laboratory in there. And look, there's Bride of Frankenstein there. But this is how people would occupy their time. And look at, see, like out here, you can tell that this is made by hand. Okay. This is just like, you know, like wallpaper. I mean, this is totally made by hand. So they would have shops where you would just go buy these pieces and you can make your own dollhouses. That was a very, very popular thing to do back before they had like Netflix and everything else. They make movies about puppets now that they scare people. They were very common back then. And a big thing was, you know, your toys for boys. So you could be a fireman, you could be an army soldier, you could be a police officer. All of these things, these toys, look at the checkers. I mean, like, everything is so nostalgic. This is what life would have been like growing up as a boy or a girl back in the 1950s. In other words, if you're my age, when your parents were kids.
Here's a Raggedy Ann doll. Much like the real Annabelle doll.
The current grandmas and grandpas, a little on the older side, these are the things that they would have had when they were a child. And you can get to know, you know, your grandparents much better by coming to this attraction and just kind of like letting it soak up. Like, this is how those people spent their time. And look, River, this is a very nice touch. You can sit down, enjoy yourself, and play a game of checkers or chess. So now we're getting into an area, River, where I was a kid, okay?
Okay.
When I was a kid, I had all the G.I. Joes, not the plastic figures. Like, I had these kind of things. See, you bought these sets, okay? And look, there's a German soldier, but you would have all these G.I. Joe figures, and you would get all these, like, you know, toys and uniforms. And other, I remember having a helicopter, and there was an octopus. You could make your G.I. Joes fight.
It says 1964. They emerged on the toy scene.
Look at that. That is so cool. And they have all of it. Revolutionary War figure toys, all the G.I. Joes. Oh my God, they had the fuzzy hair. Look at that. They almost look like he looks like a chimpanzee almost. He's totally covered in orange hair. But yeah, these were the ones that I had, River. And my favorite ones was the Kung Fu grip because they had plastic fingers and they would hold on to stuff. All the toys that I had as a kid. Look at these Confederate Union Army toys. And I would have had more toys like this. Kids' imaginations, when you think about the best filmmakers in history, these were the kind of, you know,
The
army men like I had too. But see, before you had video games, you had to use your imagination. And you would create battles, and you would have wars, and you'd have Planet of the Apes toys, and you'd make them act out. And I think this is where, like, some of your best filmmakers ever, they learn to be creative and tell stories with toys.
Dude, these are the exact army men that I had as a kid. I'm not joking. I remember the palm trees.
Well, yeah, because I bought them.
The bricks.
Because I wanted them for myself.
These are the exact army men I had as a kid.
And I would literally set up whole entire scenarios where there's wars, and you would just tell stories with your action figures. It's something that's lost today. It really is lost because of video games.
I also had these action figures as a kid too. These are the same exact ones.
And the hardest ones to get were the Germans and the Japanese, you know, because you're in America. So that, you know, obviously they sold mostly American. Now we're in the Star Wars section. I would have been a teenager. I wouldn't have been a teenager when Star Wars came out, but when all the toys became, you know, overwhelming, would have been when I was like my early teens. Look at all. Oh, these are called Megos. I had all of these. I had the Mego Star Trek. I had the Play Center, that, you know, where you could like beam them from one place to another. I had all the Marvel and DC characters. The Planet of the Apes were probably always my favorite. They have a lot of toys in here, let me tell you. The guy that started this place collected these things for a long, long time. Rock'em Sock'em Robot. They sell those now as a retro toy. I had those as a kid. And I guess this is Mike Tyson.
They have cutouts of Batman Return penguins with that. I remember playing.
Ours was cooler though. That was the original one from like the 1980s. Oh, there's the Jawa, the play sets. Got all the Army Men. Probably one of my favorite things to do was collect Army Men and have my own battles, my wars. I loved my action figures, would tell stories. I mean, I would do this on a daily basis. And I think I really do think it's the beginning of where creativity comes from. Telling stories with toys. They have a BB gun factory. This place just never ends. Of course, when you were a kid, you'd have all these guns. You would put paper in them and they would like pop. And Long Ranger, I had those toys. And I, of course, had these toys. This is silver. That's from a movie they did, I think, in the 80s. And there is the Lone Ranger. They're playing the Lone Ranger on the TV.
You just call them
Yeah. River, you're not going to believe this. I had those toys right there, those plastic toys.
Yeah.
See how they fit on the horse? So another set I would have is, you know, Indians and the cavalry, and you would have forts, and the Indians would attack the fort. And you know, that's another thing that's really cool about this place. Everywhere you go, they have places where you can stop.
Yeah, the Army Men and the other
and build something. Yeah, you could play with the Army Men. They had Lincoln toys. They had, you know,
Chess.
erector sets. They had chess, checkers. And so you can just stop and be a kid again. And this is what I really like too. When I was a kid, see, I would try to make my Lincoln logs and make forts and stuff and blow them up, you know, in the wars that I would have. Yeah. And this is the kind of stuff. See that set right there? Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, you would have something like that, and you could just literally make your own stories. I mean, I played with toys forever. I'm not gonna lie. All the way into He-Man and the whole shebang. I had them, I played with them, and I made my own stories. And there's so much junk in here. I think this was like the original building. You could walk around in here for hours and hours. So we're gonna do our best to show you, give you a really good idea what the main building looks like. Today I've got a lot of board games in here. And by the way, I used to have that, the Doodle Poodle. Okay, definitely had that. If you were ever trying to remember a toy that you had as a kid and you wanted to try to find one to buy on eBay and you just couldn't remember the name of it, you would just come here. Do you see this right here, River? I had this game. Nip and Goop or whatever you want to call it. I had this game right here, River. Yeah. This place is so sick because if you've ever, like, you just can't remember, but you want to buy it. People my age and older, they want to get the toys back that they had as a kid. And sometimes, you know, the best place to buy them is eBay.
It's got sulfur and sodium carbonate. And
Dude, that was one of the Christmas presents that I had. And see, the erector set up there where you make stuff out of steel.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I had.
It's got all the steel right here rusted up.
Yeah, I know. I had that. I know, dude. I'm starting to sound like, holy cow, Larry. How old are you?
He's 35, everybody.
Yeah, I'm 35. Lots of tractors, trucks, a lot of car toys. I mean, it's just so humongous. There's no way. Look at all the U-Hauls. Like, that was really popular. Those are really cool. Look how cool the wheels are on them things. Look at that. That's just so cool.
You know what's neat is there's signs everywhere that says donated by, so you can donate your old toys.
Yeah, they'll tell you, like, they have signs that say 40s, 1940s. And look at this, River. You got a nice old original soda machine. So I had a friend, River, who sold me one of these soda machines. And do you know what he said that they would do?
What?
See, there was a bottle of soda would stick out.
Yeah.
He said they would pop the top off of it and stick their mouth underneath it. Okay, and drink
for it?
Yeah, no, they wouldn't pay for it.
Yeah.
The soda would stick out. They would pop the cap
And just drink
and they
it.
would put their mouth under it and drink it. Okay, and that's why they did away with this style because it was easy.
It's like whenever you paid, it unlocked the door. So then
No, the door was always unlocked. It would
always unlocked?
No, it would see. This was putting pressure on it.
Oh.
Okay, and so it would come up so you can pull the soda out. Okay,
great,
they would just pop the cap and drink it. You understand now?
Yeah, I understand.
But look at all these freaking board games. My God, Battle Masters, I had that one. I have Axis and Allies. But look at this one. I'd like to have this one. Voice of the Mummy.
Hey, get a shot of the carpet. They got some interesting.
Yeah, it's like
carpet.
Candyland. And oh my God, River, check this out. So this was a huge show. That's a $6 million man, and you could look through his eye. He had a bionic arm, and his adversary was Bigfoot. And there's Mr. T, and their van. See, back in my day, your parents had to buy you toys, actual toys. Something that doesn't really exist today. Obviously, all the toys in here are like way, way, way back. Look at these like beautiful little sets. They have a lot of old Coca-Cola machines, and I believe that's like a popcorn machine.
Oh wow!
So this tells the story. It says the prize turkey, the last three spirits. Look at that. The whole thing tells the whole story of Ebenezer Scrooge. And you know, River, the way it used to be back in the day, and probably where this came from, was a lot of department stores would have window sets. So people would come at Christmas time and look at them, and then they would read them, and that would get them into the store. But look how beautiful this is done.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Top to bottom, this place took probably several years
Whoever owns this place, it would have taken them decades
to set
to
up.
collect all this
Well,
stuff.
not collect, but like set up, dude. Holy cow, the
Look
amount
at
of
all
stuff.
those board games.
The guy obviously has an addiction because he had to buy a separate building to put more toys in.
Yeah, and back before Branson was really popular the way it is today, I'm sure that's when this was started. And he's been kind of grandfathered in a property that's probably worth a lot more than anybody would ever put a toy museum in.
I don't know if there are many toy museums in the United States like this one.
Well, if there are, I've never seen one this big. Got a little Michael Jackson section going on here. Oh, look at that. Big Jim. They tried to, like, Big Jim was something in the 70s that they tried to make really popular. He-Man.
Another set.
Wow, they got a lot of He-Man stuff.
Look at, they got Coke cans.
Toy Story. Oh my gosh, look at this, River. All these sets that were built out. Oh, River, see, this is what I would have had as a kid. Like, see the fort.
Oh, yeah.
There's another fort. See the Indians attacking. This is what I'm talking about. Like, this is the kind of stuff I would set this up in the backyard. Here's the Alamo. And look at this. Here's some motorcycles. That's the kind of motorcycle my dad had. That's a really rough. Those things are fast and heavy and dangerous. Of course, when I was a kid, this was my favorite toy. Bouncing up and down on the horse.
Even something way out there, like a Garfield fish tank they have.
Really popular. And this says
Gumby.
1960s for Gumby. Oh my gosh, marbles would have been very popular. Yeah, and you can have a church service in here. Some antiques. This guy was a collector. And when you think of a TV show like...
Holy cow, these look like they're straight out of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
yeah, I know.
Christ, look at how the detail on that wood.
You know that one show, American Pickers? Wouldn't they love to come through here and pick?
And here you go. Interactive feature once again.
Oh, here we go, River. You ready?
Yeah. I won't.
Oh my gosh, there's wrestling toys.
Gosh, every nook and cranny is free.
My goodness.
Oh my gosh.
It just never ends. There's Play-Doh.
All types of Lion King. It's like, holy moly. How did somebody get all this stuff? Just Lion King stuff. Just.
Oh my god, dude. Now we're getting into Ronald McDonald. I mean, guys, we can't show you this whole place because it's just too much. The video would be 4 hours long. It really would. Look at this. This would have been something that a kid would have had in the 40s so they could put on plays for their parents. This thing looks scary as hell. That clown.
Gosh, it looks like it's straight out of the horror movie or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Dead
They're like
Silence.
ventriloquists. Oh, look at this, dude. This is John Belushi. This is Saturday Night Live stuff.
Oh yeah, there's
right here. That's Charlie's Angels. Starsky and Hutch.
Mike
Look at
Myers.
that. They actually have Starsky and Hutch. There's just really nothing they don't have.
I mean, this is just all dolls.
Yeah, a lot of people are scared of dolls. Yeah, this place really just never ends. There's a whole Marilyn Monroe collection. Suzanne Summers. John Wayne. Oh, here you go. Mark Twain. Tom Sawyer. I mean, we're like lost at this point. I want a rematch.
Oh, look at here's the original Rock'em Sock'em right here, way bigger. You know, you're cheating.
Well, you know, I'm playing with one hand, by the way. I won.
Somebody won.
Yeah, that's the original Rock'em Sock'em.
Way bigger,
over
holy
there.
cow.
There's Burt Ward, Batman 66. And here's Mego Toys. You can buy remanufactured, like, you know, retro ones. Of course, Spider-Man, Superman. That is a Mego Spider-Man right there. I noticed they don't have any in the box. They would be worth a lot more. There's Superman.
Spider-Man 3 toys.
And they got a little Batman car. Oh, River. We didn't see this. Look at this. Planet of the Apes. Those are some cool dolls. But here's the ones that I would have had right here. Those are... I bought a bunch of those off eBay, in fact. And again, you know, there's a table where they have games. You can sit down and play. And they have some old cars in here. A Rolls Royce. And what kind of car would that be? I don't know, but it's old. You can see the engine. And it's filled with toys.
We should ask the owner how much he thinks the whole place is.
Insane. So these are toys like you can buy right around in here.
Yeah, this is the gift shop from that red tape to that red tape.
How much would you say all the toys in all the buildings are worth?
I have no clue.
Who's the owner of this place?
They're over in the other building.
Are they? They've been
yeah.
collecting these things for decades.
Well, this place opened 21 years ago.
Holy cow!
They started by buying a small toy museum in Fredericksburg, Texas. Added a few other museums to it and ended up moving it here.
Do you run the
Opening
trains
this-
up in the
we-
ceiling?
Yeah, we can. Randy, Want to turn the train on for him?
Oh, look at that.
He's just asking. How's that?
Oh, there's a button.
Your wish is our command.
And there goes the train. Up in the ceiling. There you go. There you have it. Let's see. So they have a toy store where you can buy toys. And they have a couple other Laurel and Hardy, Groucho Marx, Mork and Mindy. I mean, this is just like a huge collection of dolls. Oh, River, I used to have these Viewmasters. You didn't have the internet back then, so you would learn the world from looking at these. And you see those Etch a Sketch? I used to have those.
I played with them.
Yeah, and you got your Tinker Toys. When I was a young father with my kids, I would buy them toys that I liked as a kid. All right, so River, we just went through the National Toy Museum.
Yeah.
They claim to be the world's biggest. And we found out that this place started where there was a toy museum in another state. They bought it and they brought it here. It's 21 years in the making. I don't know.
Claims to have over 1 million toys, as it says up there.
So what was your impression of this place?
Never ending. I love the character of the building because you have to go in each nook and cranny. It just adds to the element of like nostalgia. It's like
They did a lot of work on theming.
Yeah, too. Like, yeah, especially in that building over there, the theming of the 50s and things like that.
And the toys aren't like randomly thrown in there.
No.
They're thrown in there grouped together.
Yes.
I would say that this attraction is definitely a thumbs up for me.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs
Only
up.
$20 as well for a person.
But you know what? We spent maybe 20 minutes. You could spend.
It's the cheapest place we've been to so far.
You could spend 2 hours here.
Yeah.
So when you're in Branson, come check it out because this place is amazing. It'll make you feel like a kid again for sure. Mm-hmm. And you know what? It's probably not a good thing because it's going to send you to eBay looking for the toys that you had as a kid just to put your hands back on them. Until then, we'll see you next time on our channel. And of course, always happy Halloween because we love Halloween, right?
Yep, happy Halloween.
That's what got me into the business that we're in. Is Halloween because we just love anything and everything creative. Plus, we build attractions all over the world. So I like looking at attractions. I like seeing attractions. Doesn't matter what kind it is, because it just keeps your mind fresh. Mm-hmm. It keeps your mind like excited. And so every chance I get, I want to see a roadside attraction or a museum, and it really just like it does it for me. So until then, happy Halloween, and we'll see you with our next video.
For scary videos and more, subscribe to our YouTube page, huntworld.com.